My brow furrowed, I frowned, my shoulders stooped, and I cried. This proposed circuit also triggered physical changes inside my body, causing my heart rate and breathing to speed up, my sweat glands to activate, and my blood vessels to constrict. This collection of movements on the inside and outside of my body are said to be like a fingerprint that uniquely identifies sadness, much like your own fingerprints uniquely identify you. The classical view of emotion holds that we have many such emotional circuits in our brains, and each is said to cause a distinct set of changes, that is, a fingerprint. Perhaps an annoying coworker triggers your anger neurons, so your blood pressure rises. You scowl, yell, and feel the heat or fury. Or an alarming news story triggers your fear neurons, so your heart races. You freeze and feel a flash of dread. Because we experience anger, happiness, surprise, and other emotions as clear and identifiable states of being, it seems reasonable to assume that each emotion has a defining underlying pattern in the brain and body. Our emotions, according to the classical view, are artifacts of evolution, having long ago been advantageous for survival, and are now a fixed component of our biological nature. As such, they are universal. People of every age, in every culture, in every part of the world should experience sadness more or less as you do, and more or less as did our homonym ancestors who roamed the African savanna 1,000,000 years ago. I say more or less because no one believes that faces, bodies, and brain activity look exactly the same each time someone is sad. Your heart rate and breathing and blood flow won't always change by the same amount. Your brow might furrow slightly less by chance or by custom. Emotions are thus thought to be a kind of brute reflex, very often at odds with our rationality. The primitive part of your brain wants you to tell your boss he's an idiot, but your deliberative side knows that doing so would get you fired, so you restrain yourself. This kind of internal battle between emotion and reason is one of the great narratives of Western civilization. It helps define you as human. Without rationality, you are merely an emotional beast. This view of emotions has been around for millennia in various forms. Plato believed a version of it. So did Hippocrates, Aristotle, the Buddha, René Descartes, Sigmund Freud, and Charles Darwin. Today, prominent thinkers such as Steven Pinker, Paul Ekman, and the Dalai Lama also offer up descriptions of emotions rooted in the classical view. The classical view is found in virtually every introductory college textbook on psychology, and in most magazine and newspaper articles that discuss emotion. Preschools throughout America hang posters displaying the smiles, frowns, and pouts that are supposed to be the universal language of the face for recognizing emotions. Facebook even commissioned a set of emoticons inspired by Darwin's writings. The classical view is also entrenched in our culture. Television shows like Lie to Me and Daredevil are predicated on the assumption that your innermost feelings are exposed by your heart rate or facial movements. Sesame Street teaches children that emotions are distinct things inside us seeking expression in the face and body, as does the Pixar movie Inside Out. Companies like Affectiva and Realize offer to help businesses detect their customers' feelings through emotion analytics. In the NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks evaluate a player's psychological, character, and personality issues and assess team chemistry from facial expressions. And for several decades, the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, based some of its advanced agent training on the classical view. More significantly, the classical view of emotion is embedded in our social institutions. The American legal system assumes that emotions are part of an inherent animal nature and cause us to perform foolish and even violent acts unless we control them with our rational thoughts. In medicine, researchers study the health effects of anger, supposing that there is a single pattern of changes in the body that goes by that name.